Hello again, everyone. Scoons Comics here with another exciting, oh so thrilling comic book haul. Yes. How y'all doing? How are things? You good? Good. Glad to hear it. I have a stack of randomness, as I always do. I even know where it's all from. Some from half-price books, some from a local antique mall. I didn't really organize this stack that well before I decided to show this here, so let's just jump into it, shall we? Let's see what we got. So, I went to, the fiance and I were down in southern Indiana, and we found a half-price books outlet store. I didn't really know what that meant, but it is just like any other clothing outlet store. It's all the junk from all the half-price books that does not sell gets shuffled here. So they had comics, but they had very much been gone through, and even just like main titles they didn't have much of, like Batman, like 10 Batman comics. So it's kind of hodgepodge. But they had a few things for $1 or under. One of them being this book, Peter Parker Spider-Man number 93. Great John Ramita Jr. cover featuring Ghost Rider. This one, I'm always surprised this book is not more sought after, because Howard Mackey, the writer on Ghost Rider in the 90s, when it got really popular, Danny Ketch's Ghost Rider, he left the series towards the end, and the series ended before the final issue even came out. The final issue came out like a decade later. It's all weird. Howard Mackey was writing the Spider-Man title at the time, and he threw Ghost Rider in here to try to tie up that series. This is really the unofficial end of that Ghost Rider title, and I'm always surprised that this book is not more popular. But it's a very cool book. I have a couple of these, found it for $1, happy to grab it. Speaking of Ghost Rider, I always look for this stupid series. It's not good. I assume it's not good. I only had the first issue forever. It's a 4-issue miniseries of Blaze. And I could never find the whole thing for cheap. I never wanted to pay more than $1 at all for any of these. And these are all less than $1. So I finally found issues 2 through 4 on this trip. So here's Blaze, Legacy of Blood number 2. Again, this is all 90s. He's got like a cybernetic eye for some reason. I don't really remember, but it's not good. But anyway, here's issue 2. But I wanted this mini-series. I wanted to be able to say I had it. Issue 3. But the books will get better, I promise. And issue 4. No, I'm sorry, 3, 4. I'm out of order. 3, 4. That's why I go through these things first. They did have a last issue of a series I've needed forever. This is Marvel Team Up Volume 2, issue 11. The final issue, featuring Namor and Iron Man. I like collecting last issues, a gimmick I stole from Chris over at Read Comics. I like finding last issues, they're fun. Here was the only real key that I found at that half price. Green Lantern Corps Quarterly, number 8, and a newsstand edition to boot. This has, it's not even a cameo of Kyle Rayner, first appearance style. It references, there's like a little picture of the Green Lantern that should be Kyle Rayner. I wouldn't really count as a first appearance, but some people do and get excited about it. But this is the last issue of that quarterly either way, and that's kind of hard to find. So to find a newsstand copy for under $1, that was really cool. Then these all came from my local half-price books, I think. I didn't even realize Marvel had done this, but it looks like they had done a bunch of their old discontinued titles. They did a couple one-shots here. So this is Journey into Unknown Worlds. I assume this is just to keep the copyright on those titles. I think that's how that works. A really cool cover. I enjoyed these kind of monster horror books. That was pretty cool. And then I picked this one up for a laugh / to give to the fiance to read. She always enjoys the old romance comics because they're funny as can be. Love Romance, number 1. All right, back to superheroes. Enough of that love nonsense. Iron Man 212. One of these Marvel 25th anniversary covers. Slowly putting those together. I'm never going to put that together because, like, I can't see myself spending money on, like, the Care Bears one that people want to pay money for. I find it in a quarter bin someday, great. And then this cover I've always liked, so I was happy to pick this up. Avengers 177, featuring Dr. Donald Blake trying to save all the Avengers' lives. I am out of bags and boards, people. These are all the same bags and boards I got from the various stores because my local comic shops don't have any bags and boards. They got some boards, no bags. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go on Amazon, buy some My Lights or something. But there you go. That's why the bags are a little beat up. Found this one at half price for $1.50. Marvel Comics Presents #1. Not a real key, but, you know, first issue of Marvel Comics Presents for $1.50. I'll take that. Then they had, on Free Comic Book Day, they had a short box up at the register that was just Free Comic Book Day stuff, but it was all random Free Comic Book. I mean, it was all like the logo Free Comic Book Day, but it's from Comic Book Day of years past. And I didn't even, this was a trip where I didn't buy anything from half price. One of my thousands of trips to half price books because I'm, again, crazy. They didn't have anything, but I saw this at the counter and I'm like, well, these just free? And the lady's like, yeah, just help yourself. And I found one in there I wanted. Then I felt bad just leaving there with nothing, so I'll show you what I did. So first I got the free book, Umbrella Academy, Free Comic Book Day edition. This was pretty sought after a few months back when the TV show came out on Netflix. I don't know what this goes for now. It's pretty nice shape. I don't know, $30, $40 book maybe. So then I also bought Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye, first issue. Trying to get the, what's his name? Gerald Way, his work. So I paid $1 for this. Then I found, I don't know if this is a reprint or what the deal is here. I need to look this up. It's still in the same nasty bag and board. Batman 1989, the movie adaptation. I don't know if this is like a newsstand version. I haven't looked, but they had this at my local half price. A little beat up, but that's a cool book. I know this was hot for a little bit, and it's a really cool cover. Happy to pick that up. It says $5, but I'm confident I did not pay $5. I don't remember. Then another trip to half price. They had a bunch of these 90s books, which just made me smile, so I picked them up. I don't anticipate them becoming valuable at any point in time. Just fun. And comics are supposed to be fun. Here's Marvel UK, Death's Head #1. Oh man, Death's Head. Look at that. Death's Head 2, excuse me. Because he's got the original Death's Head right there. This character was kind of hot in the 90s for a little bit. I don't know if Marvel still owns this character, if it's some kind of weird Marvel UK thing. I don't know. But I remember this in like Wizard magazine being a book that, oh wow, look at this comic. So, made me chuckle. Also made me chuckle was Night Thrasher #1. Look at this 90s goodness. Look how shiny. Ooh. And Iron Man 300. This is just in really nice shape. I think I have a copy of this, but it was so nice. And all these 90s books were together. And Night Watch #1, Spawn ripoff. Look how shiny. Ooh, 90s. And I'm a big fan of the movie Galaxy Quest. I didn't even know they had comics, but here was Galaxy Quest #1 from IDW from a few years ago. I didn't know anything about it, so I was happy to pick that up. And then I found, oh man, I found 3 DC Universe variant comics there. Super excited. One, Superboy #8, which I already had, but this is a condition upgrade for me because the one I had the stupid price tag from half price just on the comic itself, and I had to get it off of there, and I didn't do a really good job because I'm not that patient. So this is a condition upgrade for me. And then they had 2 issues of Animaniacs. I never even find Animaniacs in the wild, period. Those are really hard. These are some of the harder ones to find for the DC Universe books because comic shows don't have the kiddie books, you know, Animaniacs, Looney Tunes. There's a Carmen Sandiego out there that I'm never going to find. But here's Animaniacs #1, DC Universe logo variant. And #10, Hello Nurse, DC Universe logo variant. It's going to be a little old man in a rest home, and all I'll be able to say is DC Universe logo variant. Then I found this one, man. Here's an underrated book, and they had this whole thing for $5, and I was happy to pick it up. I don't know why this book is not more popular. I assume it will become eventually once his first appearance price is out for people. But it's Gambit #1, the first miniseries, and this is a whole collection, all 4 comics. They had $5 from half price. So, heck yeah, pick that up. Absolutely. I'll probably keep it in this. I have a couple issues. I have a couple of the first issues already. But this is a cool thing to find, and I'll leave it in this condition. Looks pretty good. Speaking of stuff I'll leave, I picked up 2 of these. One I opened from Walmart. I don't usually pick up the variants from Walmart, but I'm a Ghost Rider fan. And I was tipped off that they had a variant of the first issue. So here's Ghost Rider #1. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? I had to go to 4 different Walmarts in 2 different states to find this. I'm right on the Indiana-Michigan border, so I had to end up going over to Michigan to find this on my lunch hour. But Ghost Rider. Okay, this one I found at an antique mall down in southern Indiana. I'd never heard of it. I reached out to Metarog, and of course he had it, knew about it. Made me laugh. He knows everything. Major Impact, the Space Ace #1. It's a promotional comic from the 50s for this in a pack. What is this? Chocolate drink. Look at this. Look at the back. I found 2 copies of this. I only have one up here for some reason. Must have been in my comic room. But, you know, cool giveaway comic from the 50s. I'll pick that up anytime. Very cool. I think I paid like a couple bucks for that. Then I found, same place, I found this one. Batman 489 Newsstand Edition. First cover appearance of Bane in a Batman title. First time Bane appeared. Second appearance of Bane after the Vengeance of Bane one-shot. This is a book I needed for my Nightfall series, so I was happy to find the newsstand copy of this. I think I have all the editions of this now, so that was a really cool find. This is only like $2, so awesome. Then I'm constantly sitting here screwing around on eBay. eBay's not my favorite place to find comics. It's not as satisfying, but any port in a storm, and when you're addicted to buying comics, you do what you gotta do, right? So I found this lot of 2 comics, and nobody bid on it. They're a little beat up. Well, they're beat up. They're good condition at best. Avengers 61, Silver Age goodness. Anytime I can add some Silver Age Marvel to the collection, I will. But I bought this 2-issue set for this book, Avengers 71, featuring the first appearance of the Invaders, Captain America, Human Torch, Namor. Invaders is a series I'm trying to put together ever so slowly. I'm trying to put together like 1,000 series like everybody else. But to find this online, I think I paid after shipping just under 30 bucks for the 2, so that was a great deal. And getting down to the end here, people, 3 more comics. A local dealer had a garage sale this last weekend, and I picked up 2 books. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, 144, Jack Kirby, DC. I'm trying to add to my... I have a lot of the 70s Jack Kirby from Marvel, but I don't have much of the DC, not a ton. So I'm trying to pick up these Jimmy Olsens. It always bothers me because they redraw Jack Kirby faces, man. Like, that is not a Jack Kirby drawn Superman face. I don't know if that's Kurt Swan or Wayne Boring or who did that, but that's not Kurt Swan. I'm not sure. But Jack Kirby, always good to pick up Jack Kirby. And then they had an issue of Navy Combat, which I thought was pretty cool. Just an oddball Marvel title, war comic from the 50s. I don't know what year this is, 54 maybe? I'm not sure. But, you know, what issue is this? Number 20, like I said. Cool book. So I've got a couple of these issues, comics now, so that's really exciting. And then last but not least, one of my local antique malls that I frequent every week like a goon. One of their vendors that normally does not have comics had a little tiny stack of comics. And it was all 80s, 90s, something like that. Except for this issue, super randomly, Batman number 183 for $5. Iconic cover. This is when the 60s Batman show was really in full swing. This is also the second appearance of Poison Ivy. For $5? I had no idea why this comic was there. I don't know if I have any Silver Age Batman in my collection. This might be the first thing I have of Silver Age Bats. But this is an iconic cover. Anytime you watch like any kind of superhero documentary or even stuff about television shows, anytime the Batman show is brought up, they show this comic book cover, I swear. And I'm always like, oh, that's a good one. So to find this, I was very excited to have that. That's pretty cool. Go Batman. And that's what I have this time, people. That's the haul. Yeah, real hodgepodge. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back soon with more, because I'm realizing now I forgot to grab some comics that I have purchased. But I'll be back another time. Stay tuned. Take care. Bye-bye.